back to the Walking with Wanzuu podcast. I'm your host, Yvette Wanzuu. How are you? How have you been? How has life been treating you? It's been treating you good? Tough times? Sending you hugs and love nonetheless. This is a safe space that I have created for us to be able to talk about all things life, and I draw from my own personal life experiences, some of the good, the bad, and some of the very laughable ones. This is me just giving you a tiny little sneak peek of what goes on in my head and in my heart, if you will. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy listening. Hi guys, Wanzuu here. Welcome back to the podcast. Last episode of 2023. We made it, guys. We made it. We made it to the very end of 2023. As I record this, it is 12:06 a.m. on the 31st of December 2023. And unfortunately, I've managed to experience quite a few losing quite a few people that I know and know of towards the end of the year. So I can tell you that if you've made it this far, yo, it's no mean feat. And I just thank God we're here and thank God we made it. I saw the most interesting meme today as I was just scrolling through the socials, and the meme said 2023 in a nutshell basically said, but did you die though? Did you die? And I can't think of a better summary of what this year has been. And of course, it won't be, it would only be proper for us to end the year as we do a bit of a what is it called? As we just look back on the highlights of the year and what has been, but also as I look back on some of the lessons that 2023 has taught me, some of the things that I have learned, both good and bad, and some of the things that I'm definitely carrying with me as I go into the new year, 2024. God willing, yes. So I don't want to say too much. I'm going to get right into it, and also maybe a bit of housekeeping before I get started on today's episode. I just want to say thank you so much for the feedback that I've gotten on the last interview of the mail series that I did on this episode. And that was a conversation I had with David on changes and transitions. It was a two-part episode. Of course, the first episode, we were taking it way, way back. That was a whole TBT, man. We were talking about how we've all come a long way as a people. We're talking about changes and transitions in technology, in so many aspects of life, like social norms, in the family structure, um, just social responsibilities, stuff like that. And then on the second part of the episode, now we brought it closer home and we were talking about our own personal transitions and changes and how we've adapted to it, some of the lessons that we've learned. So if you've watched, thank you so much. I want to say a special shout out to a friend of mine. I saw you commented and she was really jazzed by that episode. Thank you for the feedback. I see you. I appreciate you. Over the course of time, I've been hearing a lot of people saying that I don't publish the comments. And so I'll try and do a better job at publishing the comments. But that's also because so many of you just give me like verbal feedback. Someone will call me or tell me, or when I meet you, they'll be like, oh, but then that episode on this and this and that was really cool. I really liked it. I learned ABCD. So there's also that. Yeah, but I'm grateful for the feedback that I'm getting. So if you haven't watched that episode with David, Transitions and Changes, get into it. Get into it. That is a gold mine, yo. Mind blowing, mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. So let's get into it. Lessons that I have taken out of 2023 and some of the highlights that I had in 2023. I think the first major highlight happened for me at the beginning of the year. I had met someone really special at the beginning of the year. I think that was it was in late November in 2022. And coming into 2023, of course, now we had started hanging out a lot more, spending a lot more time together. And so I entered the year just feeling very warm and fuzzy inside because I was getting into the prospect of new love and a new relationship. And that was really, it was incredible for me. It was heartwarming. It was a very ideal situation for me because the other party also just seemed to be kind of on the same path I was in. and it was good while it lasted. I could tell you that it was like all the experiences were awesome. It was the conversations, the endless banter, the quality time spent together, and even it towards the end, it was, it was definitely ha- it was heartbreaking to say the least, but the lessons I took there are gonna last me for a very long time. So that was one of the highlights of my 2023. That relationship, getting into that relationship and it coming to an end was something that was very difficult for me as well. Another highlight for 2023 was that one of my favorite people was came home. So I have family and friends that live away from home, and that's out of the country. But one of my favorite family members managed to come and visit 3 times, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Came home 3 times in 2023, and just the joy of having your person, one of your favorite people around. So leaving work, looking forward to the coffee dates after work or the drinks after work. Just having a person who, like, literally, they were like a phone call away, but at this moment, they were a hug away. They were literally an Uber away. They were a mat away, and I could just get to see them really often. And that for me was such a highlight and such a blessing. Honestly, it's those things, those kind of things I really don't take for granted. Having someone who you connect with and someone who you're very close with, in close proximity with you or to you, is something really special. Another highlight of 2023 was I managed to adjust as far as trying to get gigs outside of work that could give me extra income. And I managed to get a few gigs here and there. Most of them were short term, because for some it was like, let's try it out and see how it goes. And if it doesn't work, then we can always part ways or transition into something else or reevaluate. But it's really like the gigs that I got that really tried to, or no, not they tried to, they actually did contribute significantly to my income and also just getting things to work around. And I'm really, really happy about that. Another highlight of 2023 for me was I've been have the person who I've had to kind of help me run the home and take care of my daughter. That's my nanny. Shout out to her. Managed to finish. So she was doing a short course, and she managed to finish and graduate, and I was so proud. um Living with people is not easy, I'll tell you that for free, especially when that person is the help. So you're trying to get things in the home, at home, in order, but you're also trying to see how you can contribute towards elevating this person's life and just the quality of who they truly are as a person, and just managing to be able to allow her, to just go out and sometimes even secure the bag, like get an extra job, but also just go through school and finish. Man, that was really, that was a joyous moment for me. Of course, she put in a lot of work, but just seeing that the lady she was when she came into my home in 2022 as it started, and the lady that she is now 2 years later as 2023 is coming to an end, seeing that level of elevation and her just being in a totally different mindset. She's now empowered. She's doing amazing things. She is a parent also, and now she's put structures in place to make sure that she's living with her child, and she's kind of working towards her dream life. That for me, that was a major highlight. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for her. So I'll get into some of the lessons that I learned, as this year is coming to an end. The first thing I'd say is understanding my value. And this goes full circle in all aspects of life. I think the first thing I would say is at work. At work, when I started working, I was really struggling. And I had to get to a point where I was tapping into a space where I was asking myself the hard questions. What value do I bring to this space? Am I really, like, in the workspace, am I really someone who, do I have confidence in my skill? How can I amplify it? And how can I feel like anyway hapa, I'm really like these people, I'm giving value. And so I started working towards understanding what my skill set is, how I can improve it, how I can contribute. fiercely to the role that I have been given and just do it to the best of my ability. So I really decided to apply myself, and I have seen it work. Another thing was just understanding my value in also spaces like in relationships and in friendships. I was in a relationship where I was giving a lot of value. I don't know about you, but I'm those people who love hard. And even sad experiences and bad experiences in relationships, I don't think will ever change who I am. I'm a sucker for love. I love love. I believe in love. I think there's someone for everybody. I'm looking forward to and praying, anticipating to the day when I'll find my flame and they'll kind of be on the same, wavelength that I am in. But I just started to be in a space where I was starting to understand my value. And once I tapped into that and believed in that, then my tolerance for bullshit just grew smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm also someone who will constantly work around things and tolerate a lot of nonsense, but that has changed over time. And so I'm just in a space where it's a constant work in progress for me, but I'm learning to understand my value. And once I do that for me, because it's like I said, it's a work in progress, I feel like there's a point I'll get to where it'll just start to come off also effortlessly. But now in this moment, I am starting to understand it, and it's something that I'm consciously working on. Understanding my value, who I am, pegging my value and who I am in Christ, and knowing that I'm a child of God. So if I because accolades come and go, achievements come and go, money comes and goes, wealth, achievements, all of that. But who I truly am, and that is a child of God, no one can ever take that away from me. And so, at the very least, I am a child of God and I deserve good things. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of living a good life. I'm worthy of respect. I too am worthy of good things, and believing that and tapping into that energy. The second thing is opening myself up to new experiences, and that's all round in everything. I had said previously that when this year was starting, I decided to really apply myself at work, and I was really struggling because I was in a space where I felt like I was giving more value as opposed to what it is that I was being compensated for. But it also just needed me to kind of calm down and ask myself, okay, so but this is where I am now. So what is God trying to teach me in this season? Why am I here? I had instances where I went for interviews, I got job offers, I thought I was starting a new job, it didn't align. I spent the better part of the year, even though I was doing my very best and applying myself. I spent the better part of the year really seeking out new opportunities, trying to see what else can I do, how else can I, can I get a better paying job? Can I do this? Can I do that? And just constantly waking up like month after month, week after week. Um, and still being in the same space was hard for me, but I decided to open myself up to new experiences and just say, okay, what new thing can I learn from this, can I get from it, and then just move with it. I also opened myself up to new experiences in terms of dating, and so I put myself out there again, Kwani ni kesho. Yeah, I mean, this, please, there has to be someone who's experiencing this awesomeness. I can't just be experiencing my awesomeness by myself. So I opened up myself to new experiences. I started seeing different people. I kind of broadened my scope for what it is that I like. Yeah, and just talking to new people. If someone called me out for a coffee date, I went. I entertained new conversations. Just trying to put myself out there and genuinely being open to new experiences. I also tried out a couple of things, like I went on more personal dates. I really embraced the fact that I love flowers. I love flowers. People who know me know that I love flowers. Like I'm a sucker for flowers, especially white roses. Like give me 100 bouquets of white roses just filled there. And first of all, let me just use this moment to shamelessly plug my birthday, which is usually at the beginning of February, and we all know February is the month of love. So on my birthday, if you want to surprise me with just a bouquet of roses. I could never get enough of flowers. Me, I'm open to it. I'm open to it. So anyway, I just embraced more new experiences, tried out more new things, and I can't even wait for the new year to come in, because I definitely plan on, just keeping on trying new experiences and doing new things and just exploring, just exploring new things all around. As far as my own personal development is concerned, as far as parenting, as far as increasing my scope in my career, but also in relationships, because you just never know. The third thing is release and forgiveness. Hey, this one I have struggled with. This one I have really struggled with. I got the heartbreak of my life in July this year. And when I tell you, even my tiny self lost to it, I could hardly believe it. I was constantly having outbursts where I would cry for no reason. I remember there was this day I was going to work and I was just in a matatu in the morning trying to get, just trying to distract myself, looking outside the window, listening to my playlist. And like I could just see every experience had a memory, every song, every word. Like if I could just see certain things that would trigger me, they would remind me. There was like a bit of an altercation, and just how events flowed. I just remember being in a space. I was like, "Why me? What did I do to deserve this?" I remember also thinking, "Could I have done things differently?" I was also in a space where I was being gravely manipulated and gaslit. I was being gaslit. And I know what you're thinking. Me, Wanzuu, who's always here giving such good and sound advice, how could I possibly be gaslit? Let me tell you, mapenzi itakufunika macho. You'll just be out here clowning, acting a fool, doing things that are detrimental to the brand. I was in love, Chomi. Hey, what? Anyway, so yeah, and just getting to spaces where I told myself, okay, so the other party seems quite unrepentant. They don't even see what it is that they did wrong. They don't seem to. For me, I always think when things end, whether it's a relationship, like a romantic relationship or a friendship, or even a disagreement in the family, I personally find it very important to be able to have a conversation, however long it takes, because I realize now, even more than ever, that I don't get to dictate people's healing, how long it takes, how it happens, when it happens. I don't get to dictate that. I can do that for me, but even sometimes when I'm in the moment, when I'm processing pain, when I'm processing heart anguish, whatever it is that I'm processing, sometimes even I don't know how long it's going to take. So I also needed to open myself to the possibility of perhaps it's going to take a while for the other party to kind of figure out, anyway, I did something wrong. Perhaps I need to circle back and like give an explanation or kind of apologize and stuff like that. And the other party was just living their life, just having a good time and I mean, they just really seemed to have gone on with their lives like nothing happened. And of course, there were a few texts here and there for, oh, sijui nini, sijui nini. But they really, I think what, even up to this moment, I have never been able to process is the fact that they don't even, like, there was no explanation, there was no apology, there was no nothing. They just kept it pushing like nothing happened. And so I had to be in a space where I needed to tell myself, okay, it happened, it happened. Um, this is who you are. You're amazing. You're intelligent. I was put in a position where I was really embarrassed publicly, guys. Hey, nilikula L hapo. I was really embarrassed, and I just had to just like kind of talk myself back into greatness and process all that pain by myself, find a way, find it in me to forgive, even if I wasn't asked for forgiveness, even if the other party didn't seem to quite acknowledge what it is that they did wrong, and then find a way to move on from it. And I can see how that release over time has really helped me. It's worked for me, it's worked for my mind, for my body, for my health. I've prayed about it so many times, I've journaled. And so I just learned the art of release and forgiveness. I know also in 2023, I've lost quite a number of friendships. Some have just fizzled out to evil. Others were just like disagreements here and there, and maybe I walked away from it or the other party walked away from it. But also just being in a space where I'm realizing that I can't salvage everything and I can't carry everybody, and people, I need to just grant people the grace to kind of like, choose if they want to walk away, sour, as long as I respect my own boundaries and protect my own peace, whatever that looks like in that particular situation. But I come out of it having a sense of release and knowing that, okay, whatever has happened. I just need to release it, like find a way to have no hard feelings and then move on from it. I think every relationship, every interaction you have with individuals, whether it's a friendship or whatever, is always there to teach you something, and I've really opened myself up to that. So I'm learning to release and forgive. It's a work in progress because I know personally, especially as an Aquarius, I have, there are many instances where I have been putting on my petty label suit and really walking in pettiness. But I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. Um, the second last thing that I like to say is protecting myself and love and my love for peace and silence. I've noticed, I don't know if it's who I have been all along and I didn't know, or if it's who I'm turning into. There's a love I have for peace and silence that I can't quite articulate. My favorite thing to do is just to be home alone, just enjoying peace and quiet, or like listening to a podcast, or like listening to, like, I don't know, but also I really just enjoy peace and quiet and silence and staring at blank walls and staring into nothingness. I also enjoy walking a lot. In fact, if I could be in a space where no one in the roads was trying to like say hi or holler at me or whatever, and just like it's just people passing and going about their business, and I can walk for like an hour straight or an hour and a half and just soaking into warm clean air, just like fresh clean air and all of that. That's my happy place, y'all. That's my happy place. I've also learned to protect my peace, like in a fierce way. And protecting my peace has come in many shapes and forms. I realized that I have an affinity and an ability to really morph and kind of always move around issues, especially when I'm trying to make people around me comfortable, most of the people that I care about. And for the longest time, my needs have always been on the back burner. I realized the other day I was talking to someone very close to me and they were telling me, what do you need in this moment? What do you need? And it's not that I didn't have needs, because there were many, but I realized it's the hesitation to kind of just voice exactly what I needed in that moment. And it comes from a place of feeling like everyone else needs to be taken care of. Everyone else's needs to be taken care of, and mine can always just wait or can never be met at all. And that's something that I'm really working towards changing and changing it big time. And so protecting my peace for me could mean I want to do something in a certain way. And of course, I'll be open to advice and I'll be open to suggestions. But at the end of the day, if whatever it is that I need to do is going to protect my peace and help me kind of figure things out, if it's done in a certain way, then that's what I'll do. Like I'll give you an example. This year, I was very clear about the way I wanted to spend my Christmas. I wanted to be at home, just chilling, at peace. Like if there are movies to watch, I'll watch. Just make some really yummy comfort food and just chill. Like I wanted a really chill and peaceful Christmas. And then of course, at the end of the day, friends and family always normally have plans. Oh, come through, we are doing this. Oh, come through, we are doing this. And I just remember even like getting into it with someone because they were like, no, 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 no. But I really wanted us to do this. And I was like, no, no, that's not how I want to spend my holidays. Like this holiday, I want it to be very chill. I want to be in a space where I'm comfortable. I just want to be home. I'm not trying to go into other people's homes. I'm not trying to mingle with people like that. I just want to be in a space where I'm chill. I've been fighting for my life all year, literally, and for my pockets. It just like I've really been absorbed into the different roles that life has handed me. That literally, if I'm going to get these few days off for Christmas. I just want to pour back into my cup and have a very peaceful and kind of uneventful holiday season, and that's what I wanted for myself. So I just remember really standing firm. And on Christmas Day, when I was just at home with my daughter, like eating and just chilling, I remember pausing and thinking, wow, this is literally what I wanted for myself. This is what I wanted. I'm so happy I'm in this moment. Of course, after I got to do some other fun activities, right after Boxing Day, we went for swimming the next day. We just, we like got snacks. We've been doing some, just some fun activities here and there, and my daughter has really been loving it. But that's way after Christmas, and I love that for me too, because I got to get a chill holiday, but I also got to do something fun for her as well. The last thing that this year has taught me, or that I have learned even as I was going through the course of the year, is rediscovering my faith and surrendering my need for control to God. Hey, Mimi na controlling events. We are in the same WhatsApp group. I really I really struggle with anxiety. And one of the things that causes my anxiety is constantly trying to control the outcomes of things. And that's like in a lot of aspects. I remember there was this one day I was going out for a date. And of course, if you like someone and you're going out on a date, you have to small jitters, feeling like the butterflies are in your stomach. Let me just warn you, if you feel butterflies in your stomach, that's common sense leaving your body. The decisions you're about to make, you'll even shock your own self. Anyway, I remember just thinking, oh, so what kind of conversations do I need to have? I don't want to make the same mistake I made to do last time. I don't know what. I just remember thinking, is it that too much pressure you're giving yourself, Wanzuu? Surely just go and have coffee and flow. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then that's it. Um, Maybe I should have even made like a Spotify Wrapped. Even me, I've seen people making a Spotify Wrapped for the people they've been involved with in 2023. Hey, mine would make it to a billboard. It's been fire. Let me just say that Nairobi has interesting characters, to say the least. And it's not just Nairobi, because we've expanded our territories. Yeah, we've gone international. But I've just like I've met very interesting characters, but I've also just opened myself to the possibility of kind of releasing things and leaving them to God. I know throughout the year I've been in situations where I'm going to sleep and I just tell God, God, this is what is happening. I have like at this point, I know I normally have plan A and plan B and plan C, D, E, and just everything else after that in case that plan doesn't work. I always have a backup plan and a backup plan for the backup plan. But at this point, God, I'm just gonna leave it to you. And one thing about me, I'll go to sleep. Okay, I'll wake up tomorrow morning and then I'll just pick up my problems and we can try and continue. And it's just like God is always showing up. It could be even at the last minute, but the way God has shown up for me this year, it's in ways that even I could not imagine. There are things that happen and I just look at it and I just say, Aki, huyo ni Mungu. That is God. That is God. And yeah, so I'm just learning to surrender and kind of let go of things, tap more into serendipity, and just believe that you know, there can be beautiful accidents that can happen for me, like just beautiful coincidences, but just learning the art of release. And it's a work in progress. There are times I find myself trying to control events and I catch myself. There are times that it happens and I'm just like, perhaps there I should have kind of moved a little different. Perhaps I would have just tried to be a bit more chill. Anyway, in all things we give thanks. I think it's been a rough year, to be honest, but it's also been the highs have been high and the lows have also been quite low. But in all things, I give thanks. I think a lot of the things that have happened this year, being that this was the year that I turned 30 and got into the third floor, have really built my character and set the pace for the woman I want to be in the next decade, even before I get into my 40s. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my support system. I'm grateful to you guys. I'm grateful for this platform and this beautiful community that we have built to be able to just give of ourselves and share of ourselves, share what's in our hearts and in our minds, share of our experiences, those that I am going through or that we are going through or that we've overcome, or some of the things that we're just like, whoo, I don't know what the future is looking like. In all things, I give thanks and I'm super grateful. And I don't know what 2023 was like for you, but I do know that God has blessed us with the gift of new beginnings. And so as we tap into the new year and end this year, I hope whatever it was that happened to you, I hope you find a small pocket of gratitude inside you and also a small pocket of hope to be hopeful for the new year and what's to come this year. As always, I'm sending you so much love and hugs and good vibes. Thank you for being here. Love you, mean it. Here's to 2023 and a lovely 2024 incoming. I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. What's some of the things that we discussed on today's episode that you really resonated with? Perhaps you even have a similar story or something that really tickled you. I would love to get your feedback. You can find me on Instagram at the Walking with Wanzuu podcast. You can also find me on Gmail. You can write me an email, tewanzuu@gmail.com. Better yet, you can leave a note if you're listening on Spotify or any other streaming platform and let me know whatever spoke to you during this particular episode. Life is too hard to go through it alone. Let's just do life together. Amma, until next time, bye-bye.